Local families planning funerals for two 16-year-olds shot and killed while another teen fights for his life.
The incidents are becoming much more ferocious.
What a councilman is sharing about the violent trend he's seeing involving more young victims. Then, two new people charged in connection to State Auditor Beth Wood's hit-and-run crash. What arrest warrants reveal about the charges. Then, WRAL is speaking with a Fort Bragg soldier charged with secret peeping, why he says he's the victim in this situation.
After today's clouds, the sun will drive up temperatures soon. Wind will feel a major pattern change.
And we begin with breaking news. In the last few minutes, we confirmed officials have located a missing 3-year-old at the center of an Amber Alert, and the child is safe. Thank you for joining us. I'm Deborah Morgan.
And I'm Dan Haggerty. Investigators believe that the toddler was with his biological mother. Let's go straight to Mark Boyle in the WRAL Live Center with what we know about this, Mark.
Well, Dan, we broke this news at 6:15 when that Amber Alert was issued. So less than 45 minutes it was issued. And now the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department in the process of canceling that Amber Alert out. This is what came across your cell phone likely just after 6 o'clock this evening. They were looking for that gray Dodge Journey. That was the vehicle. As you mentioned, Dan, it's believed the 3-year-old little boy was with his mother. We did speak with the 911 dispatch center there just a few minutes ago in Rutherford County, and they did confirm that they're working to get this canceled out. We don't have a photograph yet of that little boy, and it's unclear if the mom is facing any charges. We'll keep you updated as new information breaks right now at 7:01 in the Live Center.
Glad to hear he's safe, Mark. Thank you.
Tonight, 2 men face charges in connection with North Carolina State Auditor Beth Wood's car crash in her state-owned vehicle in December. Tomorrow, Wood is due in court on the hit-and-run charges she faces. WRAL's Julian Grace is live in downtown Raleigh where the crash happened after speaking with a local attorney. Julian, these 2 men were with Wood that night.
That is correct, Deborah. And speaking to local attorney Daniel Meyer, he tells me all of these charges are designed to put pressure on Beth Wood to admit to what happened here on these streets. Let's talk about the people involved in the charges they are currently facing. Jonah Mendes, 26 of Chapel Hill, is charged with obstruction of justice, and passenger failure to give information. Court documents say Mendes was a passenger in Wood's car that day. And then there's Ryan McGirt, 29 of Chapel Hill. He's charged with obstructing justice and accessory after the fact. It is believed that McGirt transported Wood into another vehicle and drove away from the scene. Now, Durham attorney Daniel Meyer shares why prosecutors are now charging both of them.
They're trying to pressure them to cooperate, basically. I mean, they're just trying to, that's the state and the prosecutors trying to pressure these folks to get them to cooperate against her, to kind of tell what they know.
Coming up all new at 10 o'clock, we talk more to Myers, and he shares with us what he would tell the two if they were his clients. We'll have that for you all new tonight at 10 and 11. Deborah?
Julian Grace on these new developments live in Raleigh. Thank you, Julian.
We have some breaking developments to tell you about. We just got in the last few minutes an arrest in a deadly Durham triple shooting involving 3 students. 2 16-year-old boys died. Another 16-year-old is still in the hospital. And WRL's Aaron Thomas is live in Durham for us tonight. Aaron, an 18-year-old was just taken into custody and charged with first-degree murder. What else do we know?
That's right, Dan. Talk about a major development happening within the past 5 minutes before the start of our newscast. Durham police saying that they've arrested Jorge Raul Benitez Mendoza of Durham. He's been arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted first-degree murder. The scene that I'm standing at actually has been active for hours. This is where police actually found those 2 bodies in a wooded area, but within the past 5 minutes, they have since cleared up this scene. Now, police said that the shooting actually took place last night, but it took them hours to find the 2 bodies in the woods near Brogdon Middle School. We know the 2 victims are Angel Canales and Osmar, both 16 years old. Both teens include a third. It remains in the hospital tonight, and all of them are enrolled in Durham Public Schools. City Councilman Mark Anthony Middleton, he spoke with me this evening, and he talked about the violent trend he's seeing involving young people in Durham.
The incidents are becoming much more ferocious in terms of shots fired and the willingness of shooters to hang around and fire many shots. The caliber of weapons are getting higher, and the age of the victims and perpetrators are getting less and less.
And it's certainly a grim statistic that city council members say that it's pretty hard to deal with right now. This is a story we're going to be following on our late news beginning at 10 on Fox 50. Currently trying to find out more about this suspect who's facing charges, and if there's any sort of connection between him and those victims involved.
Yeah.
Dan?
And you just certainly feel for the families of those 16-year-olds, the classmates who are mourning right now. Aaron Thomas, live in Durham. Thanks.
As we take a live look at the dual Doppler 5000, you can see the showers are mostly moving out across our area. Meteorologist Kat Campbell is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with changes for the next few days. Kat?
Certainly not going to look gray outside by this time tomorrow afternoon. Just a few showers left in our southern counties from Fayetteville Point south over into Sampson County. We're done with the rain here in the Triangle. We had 60 for the high today, but a 20-degree jump in temperatures just in one day. We are back up to 80 for the high by tomorrow afternoon. Our big ridge of high pressure will be building in, and the warmer weather also means severe weather in parts of the country. I'm tracking our next developing storm system coming up in about 10 minutes.
All right, thank you, Kat.
A Fort Bragg soldier accused of secretly recording women having sex with him, then posting those videos on the website OnlyFans.com. Specialist Andrew Gomez is a photographer in the 8th Special Forces Group at Fort Bragg. He made his first court appearance this afternoon, as you can see in the video. He faces 6 counts of violating the state's secret peeping law. Gomez was charged after a woman who appears in 6 online sex videos came forward. But Gomez says he's the victim. He believes the videos were posted by a jealous ex-girlfriend.
She was mad at me, and then a few months later goes by, because this was like in October, November timeframe. And then I get contacted in February after she found out that I had a girlfriend and posted her on Facebook.
So you didn't post this yourself on that site?
She did.
Sheriff investigators say other women who had sex with Gomez are coming forward to see if a secret recorded video of them has also been posted online.
Tonight, Greyhound is responding to the travel nightmare dozens of passengers experienced in Raleigh. Some people waited more than 12 hours for a ride. WRAL's Joe Fisher reports it seems the delays are happening nationwide.
One woman traveling cross country who ended up here in Raleigh says she has spent much of the past 3 days just sitting in bus stations like this one, and she is not alone.
15 hours.
It's been delay after delay for Tanya Green, who's traveling from Florida to Fayetteville.
This is my first time I took Greyhound, and I will never take them again. Ever will I take them again.
Her Greyhound bus passed by Fayetteville and ended up in Raleigh, where dozens of other passengers got stranded this morning.
They're just saying they don't have no drivers.
David Shabazz waited 6 hours for his bus to Virginia Beach.
They take our money, and then we get here, and we're in the dark about everything. We're just sitting there.
They leave everybody stranded.
Tammy Medore is on a 4-day cross-country trip from Boston to San Diego that's been extended to 7 days.
Wondering if I'm going to make it through this disaster.
On Twitter, passengers are unleashing their frustration. They canceled 2 buses because they couldn't find a driver. We waited at the Philadelphia bus station for 3 hours. Another tweet says, now my mother-in-law and a few other people are stuck in a town in the middle of nowhere.
It's crazy. It don't make no sense. To be honest, it need to be shut the hell down.
Tonight, Green is back home in Fayetteville. She and other riders are calling on Greyhound to issue refunds.
You just sitting here, and they don't want to do anything. They don't want to give your money back.
And a spokesperson for Greyhound released a statement to us today reading, quote, Greyhound is aware of schedule delays last night that affected passengers in Raleigh. Understanding that service changes can be frustrating, Greyhound strives to minimize these incidents. Greyhound does offer refunds if they have to cancel a route. They only offer vouchers for delays over 2 hours. I'm Joe Fisher, WRAL News, Raleigh.
Medicaid expansion is another big step closer to becoming law. Today, a bipartisan North Carolina House of Representatives approved the bill by a wide margin. One more vote is required tomorrow. Then Governor Roy Cooper is expected to sign the expansion into law. The multi-billion-dollar program that would extend taxpayer-funded health insurance to hundreds of thousands of people in our state. North Carolina would be the 40th state to approve an expansion. There is a caveat, though, an important one. A new state budget has to pass first for the expansion to then take effect. Still ahead, a major overhaul is in the works for the organ transplant system in our country, and a local expert has some thoughts on how to make it better and more efficient. Also, to save more lives. He'll join us live after the break. Plus, a look at the plan to put wind turbines on the North Carolina coast. What's in the works already, and some of the concerns people living in coastal communities have.
The Wake County Sheriff's Department says they are looking for somebody that is involved in a case where a small explosive device was found in a mailbox. Here's the Raleigh Airport, north of 540. I want to go around here and zoom into this location where this happened. This is the intersection of Old Creedmoor Road and Black Horse Run. The Sheriff's Department says that right at this intersection, right there, that red dot is, there was a small device inside the mailbox that appeared to have been detonated. No reported injuries at this point. No motive has been determined, so it's unclear if that may have been a small firecracker or what exactly was inside the mailbox. We're looking for more questions and answers for you later this evening. We'll keep you updated as new information comes in out of Raleigh, Wake County. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Right now, more than 100,000 people in the U.S. are waiting for an organ transplant, and every day patients die while waiting. That's why the federal government wants to revamp the system and modernize it. This overhaul involves a new data dashboard and providing details about individual transplant centers, organ retrievals, and wait lists. And the government also plans to split up responsibility to give room for more collaboration, ultimately making the system more efficient and hopefully saving more lives. One Duke medical professor has an improved approach. One he describes is as simple and seamless as ordering an Uber. Dr. Stuart Konecny, professor of surgery and director of Duke Transplant Center, joins us live to explain. Dr. Konecny, we just saw you on NBC Nightly News, so we know you are in the midst of this national story. So talk about these changes and why they're so necessary.
Well, I was thrilled to learn this morning of HRSA's intention to reform the organ transplant oversight in the United States, which is badly needed in order to help more patients, more Americans receive transplants equitably and in a timely manner. Currently, we don't begin to meet the need, and we need to grow the number of organ donors and transplants by system improvements. So we're excited about that possibility, and we firmly believe in modern technology that to assist in data gathering and processing and improving the accessibility of transplantation to Americans.
Give us an example of how this would work. Say someone here in the Raleigh area is waiting on a kidney. What would that person need to know or do to be able to get a donation more quickly?
Well, we would love to see that patient be part of a electronic record that would give them access so they know exactly where they stand on that waiting list, when there are offers available to them, that they could input some of their health data into that system, have access to their financial data from that same medical record system, and be followed longitudinally over time as they wait for a transplant and then receive a transplant. This system would, I think, give us a greater access, give that patient a greater access to organ transplants as well.
You talked about organs being so scarce. How can we improve the pool of organs available to people who need them so desperately?
Well, our system of organ donation is overseen by organ procurement organizations, or OPOs, in the United States. There are 56 of them. Some of them are doing an outstanding job and are efficiently procuring organs from all available donors. However, that's not uniform, and many OPOs could double or triple the number of organs procured, and that would make a huge difference nationally for us.
Dr. Stuart Konecny of Duke, thanks so much for your time explaining all of this, and good luck. Check back in with us. Let us know how this is going.
Thanks very much, Deborah.
Thank you.
Interesting story. Let's take a live look right now at the North Carolina Legislative Building. Republican state lawmakers want to further restrict abortion in North Carolina, but some doctors are hoping they'll reconsider. They met with legislators today promoting a bill to undo some of North Carolina's abortion rules. It has support from Democrats who represent Wake County. The bill would end North Carolina's 72-hour waiting period to have an abortion, plus the requirement for women to look at their ultrasound before an abortion and more. The bill has little chance of passing, though, the Republican-controlled General Assembly. Offshore wind development is accelerating off the North Carolina coast, and a state task force hosted an open house last night in Brunswick County to connect with some residents there with industry experts, regulators, researchers, and environmental groups. Among the top concerns from folks, how the wind turbines, there's 800 feet tall, some of them, could have an impact on the ocean view for coastal communities. The current projects are about 20 miles off the coast and very early in development. Regulators say visual simulations and environmental reviews would be needed before construction could begin.
Well, the clouds pretty much obscured the views around here today. Meteorologist Kat Campbell joining us now in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. At least as we're getting to the sunset, it's starting to clear up a little bit.
You can see a little bit of a hint of sun in the distance here at North Hills. We may see some of these clouds thicken back up tonight. The plus side to that, though, is the areas that see the clouds tonight won't see fog, but if you do see some clearing of the clouds, there could be some fog, mainly toward the sandhills. The rain from earlier, just sprinkles at that. It is clearing out of here. Just a few sprinkles left in the southern part of our viewing area. And our next system is the one that made its way across California. It's going to be coming here in different form. We don't quite have the moisture with it, but we are going to have a lot of warm air ahead of it. And because of the timing and the warmth, there could be some severe weather in parts of the south heading into Friday. Already this far out, 3 days out, a level 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather for areas in orange. This includes parts of Mississippi, Louisiana, as well as Arkansas, and the threat extends all the way over toward Georgia and even a tiny sliver of the southern North Carolina mountains included in the level 1 risk for Friday. Our current thinking for this system is that we wouldn't see the severe weather here locally. It would be showers that arrive midday into the early afternoon for us during the day on Saturday. A few thunderstorms possible. What we will need to watch is any changing of the timeline. If it slows down just a little bit, that gives us more time to warm up and more energy to build in the atmosphere. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. Tomorrow is when we get in high resolution model data for Saturday's rain timeline. I encourage you, especially if you have outdoor interest Saturday, check in for an update tomorrow. Tomorrow, though, looks like a great day. High temperatures rebound, upper 70s to lower 80s again tomorrow afternoon. Any clouds or fog in the morning will give way to some sunshine for the afternoon, and a breezy southwest wind driving up temperatures from the 50s at 8 a.m. all the way up near 70 by lunchtime. During the afternoon, if you do want to head to the playground with the kids, let them get some energy out. It's just going to be one of those days where you're going to want to find something to do outside during the afternoon. Also a great day if your kids do have after-school practices happening. We're at 80 at 5 o'clock still, even by 9 o'clock for the later night practices. For the older kids, temperatures are going to remain near 70 degrees. Maybe grill out tomorrow night as well for dinner, or Friday. We take on a little bit of a summer-like look and feel on Friday. It will be warm and it will be windy, and with temperatures going up and the wind picking up in the coming days, that's really going to lift up a lot of the pollen into the air. So be prepared for the pollen levels to skyrocket in the coming days. Saturday still warm and windy. That'll come with showers and some isolated storms. We dry out Sunday, but another round of rain could move in Sunday night into Monday. Next week, though, still some uncertainty on that first round of rain, whether it'll be Monday or Tuesday. Keep checking back in for updates. What we do know is it is likely to cool down a little by the end of next week. Low temperatures down to 36 by next Thursday morning. So we're getting close to that frost freeze territory again.
Yes. All right, Kat, thank you.
Something is brewing at a school in Raleigh. A group of visually impaired students wrapped up barista training. How their new skills will help pave a future for them. Coming up.
Let's go ahead and take a live look at Lake Gaston, because we love to see the sunsets, and especially one like this that's so beautiful with the lake so calm this evening. We'll be right back.
Wake Tech is preparing visually impaired students for barista training.
They teamed up with students from the Governor Moorhead School with a 6-week training program. They learned about the art of making coffee, from the roasting process to menu planning and service with a smile. They apply their senses of hearing and touch to overcome their visual disabilities. Wake Tech Hospitality Director Samir Pawa says employers will notice their potential.
And guess what? They'll be your best employees. They'll show up on time. We've had almost 100% attendance, which students came in. They performed well. Their customer service was impeccable.
The students have now completed their barista program at Wake Tech. The restaurant industry is struggling to find dependable workers, so the students should have a good chance at landing jobs.
How impressive is that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, several coffee shops in our area focus on special needs employment.
We have brought you stories, a few of them in the past, like 321 Coffee. They employ people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. They have locations in Raleigh, if you'd like to visit, on Hillsborough Street, and at the Farmers Market as well, and in Durham on Morris Street. 321 Coffee recently featured on the Today Show as well. They're doing great work there.
Steamed coffee and Cary, too. We've got lots of places around here.
You said it. Work is now underway on downtown Raleigh's first skate park.
Yeah, the groundbreaking for the Conlon Family Skate Park happened this morning. It's set to open in early May. Mayor Marianne Baldwin was at the groundbreaking today and says she's excited for the community it will create. An organizer for the skate park says having skaters at a central place will keep them safe and off the streets. They also believe the park will benefit the community by driving economic activity. So when Dan is missing, we know where to find him.
Yeah, you'll find me
down there at the skate park.
Yeah, getting taken away by an ambulance.
Well, the famous Budweiser Clydesdales are coming to Fayetteville tomorrow.
Yeah, just like the ones you remember from the Super Bowl commercials, the big, gorgeous horses that try to sell you beer. You'll be able to see them in person. The Clydesdales are scheduled to visit the U.S. Army Airborne and Special Operations Museum. That's from 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock. The museum says the event is free, which is great, family friendly. If you've ever seen Clydesdales in person.
They're beautiful.
And they are way bigger than you think.
So
You
huge.
think they're big, they're even bigger.
Yeah.
Also, Sunset Slush will be there, so you can have some Italian ice while you're looking at the horses and enjoying some time with family.
Win-win.
Thanks for being with us tonight.
Our next newscast at 10 on Fox 50 and at 11 on WRAL. Have a great night.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.